this is all from NBA.com. So NBA.com has posted on December 15th that the first trade is the Pacers get Thomas Bryant from the Heat, and they traded for a 2031 second round pick swap. And whenever I was younger, I always used to wonder why, like, 2031 is 6 years from now. Like, why is this relevant? And it always is relevant. Somehow, some way, it always manages where it's like 6 years from now, and I'm like, oh wow, they really utilized that pick. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It's mainly with the OKC. I feel like OKC always utilized their picks so well. But I'm not a fan of any in particular team. I'm more so a fan of players. So like, I like a lot of players around the league, but I don't have a set team that I really enjoy watching day in and day out. So again, on December 15th, that was a trade for the Pacers received Thomas Bryant, and then the Heat got a 2031 second round pick swap. The next trade was Dennis Schroeder. So the Warriors got Dennis Schroeder and a 2025 second round pick. And then that's from Miami, and it's a top 37 protected. And then the Nets received D'Anthony Melton, Reese Beckman, a 2026 second round pick from Atlanta, a 2028 second round pick from Atlanta, and then a 2029 second round pick from Golden State. So there was a lot in that, but I don't think Dennis Schroeder, I think Dennis Schroeder got traded again, if I'm not mistaken. Because he was on the Warriors for a while, but I think he got traded again. I might mention it in this lists. So let's move on. December 29th, the Lakers traded Dorian Finney-Smith and so it's the other way around. Oh, this was the D'Angelo Russell trade. So the Lakers traded D'Angelo Russell and Maxwell Lewis and 3 future second round picks, and then in return they got Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. That was an interesting trade to me. I knew eventually D'Angelo was gonna have to go because he just demands the ball in his hands, and I feel like playing with LeBron, you can't go off like you want to, like, and if you are a player who needs the ball in your hands to get hot, then it's never gonna work out. That it made sense for a second, but I knew that trade was eventually gonna happen, and this is his second time being traded from the Lakers, so that was interesting. So on January 15th, so now we're jumping into this year. This is when things kind of start speeding up a little bit because the trade deadline is right before Allstar weekend. So I think the end of the trade deadline was last week. So in this trade, it was the Suns. They picked up Nick Richards and a first and 1 second round pick from the Hornets, and then the Hornets got Josh Okogie and 3 second round picks. I wish it kind of listed out the year, like before it was listing out the year, but I'm assuming this is for next year. I don't really know. But yeah, the Suns received Nick Richards and a second round pick, and then the Hornets got Josh Okogie and then 3 second round picks. January 21st, the Jazz received a 2031 unprotected first round pick, and then the Suns received a 2025 least favorable first round pick, 2027 least favorable first round pick, and then a 2029 least favorable pick. Only 2 of those picks are protected. The 2025 and the 2029 are protected, but that's only from Utah and Minnesota, so it looks like that was just a 3-team trade with the Jazz, Suns, and then actually no, so the picks are based off of Cleveland, Minnesota, or Utah. I think that's whenever it gets tricky, whenever it's like a multiple team trade, but it's gonna get trickier. Let's just keep going. February 1st, the Clippers traded PJ Tucker and Mo Bamba, a 2030 second round pick in cash, to the Jazz for Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills. So the Clippers picked up Drew Eubanks, Patty Mills, and then the Jazz received Mo Bamba, PJ Tucker, a 2030 second round pick, and then cash. Let's see. So February 2nd, this like broke the NBA internet when the Lakers got Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. The Mavs received Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. The Utah Jazz received Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 2025 second-round pick, and a 2025 second-round pick from the Clippers. So this was a bunch of moving parts, but the biggest, I guess, takeaway from this was Anthony Davis going to the Mavs and then Luka going to the Lakers. Now, I'm going to pause here just to give my thoughts really quickly. Again, from an NBA casual, I only watch a few games. I'm not as tuned in as I once was, is what I'm trying to say. I think the Mavs picking up, and again, this is after Anthony Davis's injury. So Anthony Davis going to the Mavs was a very, very big deal. But then he got injured in his first game, but he was balling out. He was going crazy. Like, that was pretty insane. But I think the Mavs getting Anthony Davis helps them right now. Do they need help right now? I don't know, because I don't know what that organization is trying to do. It seems as though, and again, this has been speculation. This is not coming from me, but I've read this, that the Mavs are trying to incorporate a casino in some way or some kind of gambling thing that has just been denied over and over and over again in Dallas. And if the new owners are trying to move Dallas or move the Mavericks out of Dallas, they're doing a great job. But I think they got better from the trade. It didn't really surprise me because, like, Luka has taken them to the finals, yes, and Luka is young, yes. Luka's only 25. I think AD is 32. Let me see. He is, 31. He'll be 32 in March. So I think the Mavs immediately get better because they still have a great front and backcourt. Like, that's just my opinion. Their bench needs work, but Luka going to the Lakers just helps basketball in general. And I just say that because Luka is a household name. Like, he's a cash cow. My parents don't watch the NBA like at all, but my mom knows who Luka is. Like, my sister, like, people in my family do not watch basketball as often or even at all, but they still know who Luka is. And I think taking Luka to the Lakers not only increases their chances of having a future or a bright future in LA, but what it's going to do for the league is going to be amazing. But do I think the Lakers are going to win going forward? They're going to win some games, but again, LeBron is great athlete, great outside of ball, playing basketball, great for the NBA outside of it. Like, everything he's done has been amazing, and playing at this level as a 40-year-old man is insane. The only thing is that LeBron, I feel, is at the tail end. I don't know if he will win another one, and people have said that time and time again, and he's won time and time again. But the team altogether, I just do not think they're going to win another one. But for the Lakers organization, this is amazing. I think they won the trade long term. Short term, I'm gonna give it to the Mavs. It makes sense because Anthony Davis has been healthy. I know the running joke is that he's not healthy, but he's been pretty healthy this season and last season. Now, he did get hurt playing his first game, but what came of it from that first game, if he can continue doing that and not get hurt, the Mavs they're set. They're in a good spot. Do they have all the pieces to win this year? No. But if they get some more pieces, I think they'll be fine. But again, that's short term, and that's if the Mavericks organization feels the same way, because if not, then this conversation's useless, and the Lakers are just going to continue winning everything. So, second. The Spurs received De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. And then the Kings received Zach LaVine, Sidi Sissoko, a 2025 first round pick, a 2027 first round pick, a 2031 first round pick, a 2025 second round pick, 2028 second round pick, and then a 2028 second round pick. The Bulls received Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, and then a 2025 first round pick. Now, my thoughts on this, and I'm not going to touch on all of them. I'm just only going to touch on just a few trades. Do I think the Spurs got better? Yes, because they already have Wembanyama, and he is an athletic. He's just athletically gifted, being as tall as he is, being able to do everything that he can. Now, if he stays healthy, him and De'Aaron Fox, great pair, great matchup. The rest of the team needs to get better immediately because they have pieces, but they don't have everything. But the fact that De'Aaron Fox is young, or I know he's under 26 for sure. Oh no, he's 27, so he'll be 28 this year. Either way, that's not a bad pairing. De'Aaron Fox with Wembanyama is not a bad pairing at all. The Kings, on the other hand, have been in rebuild mode. I feel like the Kings to me are the West Coast Philadelphia 76ers without a brand name. Like, you know how the 76ers kept saying, like, oh, the process. I feel like that's what the Kings are. But there's been they don't have that tagline of the process. It's just they've been processing this whole time. And I feel like every time they have these great pieces, they just ship them off. And it's always like restart. It's like that kid who's playing video games and he can't beat a level. So then he just quits the game, gets back to the same level, quits the game again. It doesn't make sense. I'm waiting for the Kings to like push past that hump, but they are not getting past it. The Bulls, on the other hand, I don't have anything to say on what they received. The Bulls got Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, and then 2025 first round pick from the Spurs. But again, what does that really do for their organization? I think they're still trying to ship off Ball to Lonzo Ball. They were trying to, but the trade deadline's passed, and I think he's gonna do, or he may have already signed an extension with them. I don't know, but the Bulls they're just not in the conversation. It's just they got some players, but looks like the Hornets and the Thunder just did swap picks. So the Hornets got a 2029 second round pick, and then the Thunder received a 2030 conditional second round pick. So that was just a swap pick done on February the 3rd. February the 4th, the Mavs got Dallas Mavericks got Caleb Martin, and then the 76ers got Quentin Grimes, and then a 2025 second round pick. Again, more pieces for the Mavs. I feel like they needed that. I think Caleb came from the Hornets. He was mentioned in the earlier trade, or was I thinking Nick Richards? Yeah, I was thinking Nick Richards. Either way, like, Caleb Martin joining the Mavs gives them another piece. But he is also, I would say, kind of on the downhill. He's just been spotty. He's been spotty, just as a shooter. He had I think it was like 2 years ago, he had great time with the Heat, with the Miami Heat, and since then, haven't really seen great production from him, but I think he helps the Mavs out. Daniel Theis was traded to OKC, so Oklahoma got another big, and then OKC also received a 2031 second round pick, and then the Pelicans got cash, so that worked out, because Daniel Theis is 33 this year, so he's on the tail end of his career as well. Wonder if I can see his production. Okay, so he's not even getting too many minutes. Yeah, he's not getting a lot of minutes. But I think that's just good for the Pelicans, because I don't think that the Pelicans are really in any kind of playoff contention either, and they still need to figure out what they're going to do with Zion. So obviously they want to keep him, but it seems like there's always a lot of chatter going on in that organization of like, do they want to keep him? Do they not want to keep him? Is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to continue dropping weight? And it's just a lot with that. Let's see, February 5th, the Kings got Jonas Valanciunas from the Wizards, and then the Wizards got City Sissoko, and then 2 future second-round picks. Again, I have nothing on the Kings, and then the Wizards. I think they're gonna move them out of DC or something, because they have, I don't know. I can't say anything because I am not a professional athlete, so I don't want to speak on it. But from a professional athlete standpoint, like where they fall in line with every other team, they're just so bad. Like the Washington Wizards are not great. The Celtics, February 6th, the Celtics traded Jaden Springer to the Rockets with a 2027 second-round pick and then a 2030 second-round pick. And then in return, the Celtics got a 2031 second-round pick. Right now, the Celtics are in a good spot, so I don't think they're looking to really play with their pieces too much. Like, they don't have a lot of room or really anything to maneuver. They won the championship last year, and they just got a bunch of like, I wouldn't necessarily say they got better, but if it's not broke, don't fix it, is what I'm trying to say. I was reading and also trying to see what was next. So February the 6th, the Wizards received Reggie Jackson and a 2026 first-round pick, and then the 76ers got Jared Butler, a 2027 second-round pick, 2028 second-round pick, and then 2 second-round picks in 2030. Again, Wizards don't get better. So, not to say anything about Reggie Jackson, but at least they got a 2020 second round, or 2026 first round pick. And then the 76ers, again, I don't know, they're still process. They're in their process, so they can't get it right either. Let's see, Rockets on February 6th, Rockets receive Cody Zeller and a 2028 second round pick, and they sent draft rights to Alpha Kaba to the Hawks. I don't know what the Hawks are doing either. I have a bone to pick with them, but we'll still keep going. February 6th, again, the Raptors the Raptors gave up a 2026 second round pick to the Pacers in return for James Wiseman and cash. February 6th, the Pistons received KJ Martin, a 2027 second round pick, and then a 2031 second round pick. And then the 76ers got cash in return. February 6th again, Yusuf Nurkic was sent to the Hornets along with a 2026 first round pick. And then the Suns received Cody Martin, Velicic, I can never say his name, Mikchech, I don't know how to say his name, 2026, and then a 2026 second round pick. I don't think that helps the Suns. And if anything, I'm a KD fan, I'm a Kevin Durant fan, but I think they should have got rid of Kevin Durant. Not to say that they should blow up that team, but like, I just don't see it working there for the Suns. I don't see them in playoff contention. Let's see. February 6th, again, the Pistons received Dennis Schroeder from the Jazz via the Warriors. So Dennis Schroeder was moved again. Lindy Waters III via the Warriors, and then a future second round pick via the Warriors. And then the Jazz received KJ Martin from the Pistons via the 76ers, and then a future second round pick. So those were trades that were already traded. 6th, the Raptors received PJ Tucker from the Heat via the Jazz, a 2026 second round pick via the Heat, and then cash consideration via the Heat. And then in return, they got Davion Mitchell. I think that was a great pickup for the Heat. I think the Heat, again, like, they would have been fine with PJ Tucker, but getting someone younger. I know he's smaller, though. Yeah, Davion Mitchell's smaller, but I think he's a better player for the Heat. And then PJ Tucker going to Toronto. Again, it's not gonna do anything for Toronto, but I think because he's a veteran, he can still have some help with that team, because I think Toronto's just gonna have to rebuild altogether. Let's see, going forward, again, February 6th, the Bucks got Kevin Porter Jr. and then the Clippers got Marshawn Beauchamp. Kevin Porter Jr., let's see, I mean, he's young, so I guess that helps the Bucks, but it really relies on what is Giannis gonna do, because Damian Lillard, he's towards the end of his career, so it's like, is Giannis gonna get frustrated and force his way out? Because then at that point, the Bucks putting young people on the team is not really gonna help the case. I don't know, but it's more so like the organization versus the star player. That's usually how it falls too, really in any sport. And then February 6th, the Clippers got Bogdanovich from the Hawks, and then the Hawks got Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, a 2025 second round pick, 2026 second round pick, and a 2027 second round pick. Again, what are the Hawks doing? What are they doing? I do not get how they are not putting. I think Trae Young needs to leave. Trae Young is a great player. I think he needs to leave, because the Hawks have no direction. They just keep getting players to just be there for the moment. And I guess, let's see, Bones Highland is young, and Terrence Mann he's younger, but he's still gonna be 29 this year. So it's like, I don't know. Do the Hawks get better from this? Really? Like, yes, the players they're getting are good players, and they're getting second round picks for 2025, 2026, 2027. But at the end of the day, it's just like, what are y'all doing? They could possibly win. I think the Hawks could possibly win, but it's not going to be with Trae Young there. It's just going to have to be after. But I would like to see them win with him there, but it doesn't look like that's the case. February 6th again, the Bucks got Kyle Kuzma, Jericho Sims, a 2025 second round pick, and a 2026 second round pick. And then the Wizards got Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, a 2028 first round pick swap. Then the Knicks got Delon Wright, drafts to Hugo Besson, and then cash. And then the Spurs received Patrick Baldwin Jr. and then cash. So all of this was in one big trade. Do I think the Bucks got better from this? No. Only because Kyle Kuzma has been not the best for the Wizards, but he can have those games where he goes off. And again, I'm speaking from a casual. I'm just speaking from somebody who I watch from the sidelines. I have not made it to the NBA. Never even had the opportunity to. But I've played basketball and watched basketball for a majority of my life. That's the only thing. So, from that perspective, do I think the Bucks get better? No. Do I think the Wizards get better? No. I think the Wizards are going to become that team where you just get shipped off to just either finish off your career or just kind of stay in a limbo. Stay in, like, yeah. The Knicks, I don't think they necessarily get better, but they're not in a bad position. And then the Spurs, that one I'm going to have to see, because I feel like Patrick Baldwin's young, so I have to see, like, I haven't seen enough of him playing. I don't even think, does he get minutes like that? Yeah, he gets, like, he's coming off the bench, but, like, I don't know too much about Patrick Baldwin Jr. let's see. And then, this was also talked about. So, this one I'm gonna have to touch up on. And like I said, I don't want to talk about all the trades, but this was a big trade because the Lakers traded Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, a 2031 unprotected first round pick, and a 2030 pick swap to the Hornets. And in return, they received Mark Williams from the Hornets. Mark Williams, I believe, failed his physical, is what I'm seeing. So the trade ended up becoming rescinded. That's very awkward because right now Dalton Connect looks like he hates the Lakers, like with a passion. When he doesn't team warm-ups, he's far away from them. On the bench, he just looks like sad and like dazed out at times. Like, it's kind of crazy, and I think that's the effects of being traded, but then being traded and then coming back to the team, like with it being rescinded. I know that's a crazy feeling. He has to start balling though, because here's the thing about the NBA: if you get upset that you were traded and you don't start balling, and I know it's the team that traded him, so he doesn't really want to ball out like that. But if you don't start balling right now, man, you are on your way out, and they will ship you to the Wizards. I'm telling you, you will leave. But trade deadline's over, and now he just has to sit and kind of sulk and be upset. But I feel like it is a crazy feeling. I mean, he's 23 years old, so I get it. Like, being young, thinking that you're gonna stay with this team, with this franchise, and then especially after getting a piece like Luka, so now you're thinking like, oh, okay, we're gonna play more like Boston ball, to where we have all these like forwards and shooting guards, like kind of spread the floor. But yeah, that one was a rough one. But Dalton Connect, get better, man. I hope you can come back from this. And then Mark Williams goes back to the Hornets, and I guess they can't do anything with him because he's clearly injured or something's going on to the point to where that trade didn't work. So I guess he didn't pass a physical. I don't know, but a lot of interesting things from the Lakers, because I recently saw, which it's not on this report, but I recently saw they picked up Alex Len, who was supposed to go somewhere else, but I think he decided to sign with the Lakers. They still need another big man, because I believe Alex Len is like older. He's been around for a while. He's a seasoned vet, but like, he can't play all those minutes. And then what are you gonna do? Get LeBron to play the 5? LeBron is 40 years old, and I know he's been proving and beating all odds and doing amazing things, but you can't have someone like that, 40 years old, run the floor for that long. He's gonna either get hurt or get tired, and both are not good. You don't really need that. Let's see, February 6th, the Cavs received DeAndre Hunter, and then the Hawks received Karis LeVert, George Niang, 3 second-round picks, and then 2 pick swaps. I've already said how I feel about the Hawks. Cavs have been amazing me this year, so nothing to say on the Cavs. Alright, another big trade. So, the Warriors received Jimmy Butler, 2 second-round picks, in cash. The Heat received Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell. The Jazz received Josh Richardson, KJ Martin, a 2028 second-round pick, a 2031 second-round pick, and then cash. The Pistons received Lindy Waters III and Dennis Schroeder. And then the Raptors received PJ Tucker, 2026 second-round pick, and cash. So from this, Warriors getting Jimmy Butler and 2 second-round picks from the Heat and some cash. I don't think this makes the Warriors better. Now, do I think the Warriors will be better short term? Yes. Long term, no. So that's what I mean. I think Jimmy signed an extension, I want to say. But at the end of the day, he's 35 years old. He's going to be 36 this year. It's tail end for him. Same thing with Curry. Like, he was looking miserable. He looks a lot happier now that Jimmy's there, but Jimmy has a way of affecting culture for good, and then some see it for bad. I'm not really on the side of either or, because again, I'm not in those locker rooms, I'm not at practice, I'm not with those guys, but from the reports it sounds like the way that Jimmy can affect the locker room is huge on winning. Just the winning culture of the team. He wants to win. It sounds like he wants to win. But the way that some people interpret it, it doesn't sound like it hits the same for every single person. With that being said, I think this is great for the Warriors now, like today, this year. Will this matter years down? No, because I don't think they got better. The Warriors didn't get better. They just threw Jimmy on there as a band-aid. The Heat getting Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davion Mitchell, I guess is good because now they have a younger squad. Did they get significantly younger? Not really, but I think every one of their starters is definitely in their 20s. So, if the Heat can continue on with their Heat culture, that's great. But you still need that vet in the locker room. You need a veteran around to kind of help those guys out. But I think that does help them. I think the Heat get better from this. The Jazz get Josh Richardson, KJ Martin, a 2028 second round pick, 2031 second round pick. Does that help the Jazz a little bit? Yes, but I don't think they needed that. So I guess I'll say for the future, it kind of helps out. The Pistons get Lindy Water the third, and then Dennis Schroeder. Like I said, I think that helps the Pistons. But we'll see. And then the Raptors get PJ Tucker, and then the 2026 second round pick. Nothing to say on that one. So February 6th again, the Raptors got Brandon Ingram, and then the Pelicans got Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first round pick and a second round pick. This does help the Raptors because Brandon Ingram, he's a solid player. He's gonna get you like 15 to 20 points a night, so that's solid. But the other pieces on the Raptors don't really, I don't really see it like being a game-changing thing for the Raptors. The Pelicans getting Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk, I guess. Shout out to the Pelicans. But again, they need to figure out what they're gonna do with Zion. I feel like that's their biggest issue. And then the last trade that I have is the Wizards getting Marcus Smart, Colby Jones, Alex Len, a 2025 first round pick, and then the Grizzlies got 2 second round picks, Marvin Bagley III, Johnny Davis, and then the Kings got Jake LaRavia. I can't say it, LaRavia. That was I don't know why I was struggling so hard to say that, but the Wizards again, Marcus Smart, Colby Jones, Alex Len. So yeah, this is not updated because Alex Len just signed to the Lakers. Marcus Smart, Colby Jones, and a 2025 first round pick. I don't think it matters. Wizards are irrelevant. No disrespect if that's your team, but they're not getting better. Grizzlies getting Marvin Bagley III, Johnny Davis again, and 2 second round picks. Don't think that helps them out. And then the Kings getting Jake LaRavia again. Doesn't matter. Let's see. It looks like that's all they have. So I'm gonna stop there and then talk about All-Star Weekend. So All-Star Weekend is in San Francisco this year. I'm not gonna get into it too much just because I don't watch All-Star Weekend. I guess I'll give my opinion real quick. All-Star Weekend is just not fun. I feel like the NBA has changed things to the point to where I no longer am interested in All-Star Weekend. That's just a me thing. Will I watch some events? Yes, but I used to be tuned in Friday through Sunday. Like, you cannot tell me that entire weekend I was watching everything. Now, it's kind of like the big name events. That's all I really watch. Like, for instance, on Friday, they have the Rising Stars practice, and then the celebrity game at 7 p.m. I don't watch the celebrity game anymore, but that's 7 p.m. this Friday, in case anybody wants to see that. is 9:15, so it's right after the celebrity game. And then I think the G League plays, and then they have a Rising Stars Championship game at 10:35. Then Saturday, looks like they have the HBCU Classic at 5 p.m. And then they have 8 p.m. It looks like it's the Allstar, like the start of the All-Stars with the NBA players. So 8 p.m. is like when they have the skills challenge. Then they have the 3-point contest, and then the slam dunk. I used to watch the 3-point contest. I couldn't even tell you who's in it. Let's see. Does it tell me who's in the 3-point contest? Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cameron Johnson, Damian Lillard, Norman Powell. I mean, I might watch the 3-point contest actually, because that's kind of interesting. I didn't know all those people were locked in for that event. And then for slam dunk this year, it is Mac McClung, Matthias Buzelis, Stephon Castle, and Andre Jackson Jr. I feel like I'm not watching that. I don't really care. Like, Mac McClung has been, I feel like he's only placed in the G League just so that he could pop out and do the slam dunk contest. Like, that's it. Other than that, like, they're really relying on him to save the dunk contest. And he did amazing. Last year, 2 years ago, he did amazing in the contest. I only watched the highlights, but still, he did great. I just am no longer interested in it. Just because, like, I think on the daily, I see so many amazing dunks outside of that I'm just like, wow, like, this should have been in the dunk contest, and it's not. And then, a lot of the NBA players just don't really care anymore. The younger guys do, but the older guys, they don't really care. And then Sunday is the All-Star event. That's like the All-Star Championship event. And so, they changed the All-Star format again. I don't recall what it is, but I feel like the more they keep changing it, the more I just don't want to see it. Yeah, that's about it. So tune in if you like the NBA and you watch all